back in Voice of Reason. I've been waiting all program to ask this question. Start with Gail. All right, got somebody you've met. It could be a coworker. It could be a boss. This is a beast. This is a person who will never change.
Okay.
It could be a person who's not just ornery, but evil-minded. The same kind of person who in a violent situation would wind up in a penitentiary, except it's emotional violence, all right? So you try and you try and you try, and you cannot get this person out of your mind. You cannot stand being around the person. You know what I'm talking about. We've all been there. And this person, no matter what you do, it seems unfathomable. You cannot deal with it. What do? Do you get out?
Well, you might want to think about that option of not being there any longer. I mean, if you've tried to talk to them and there's nowhere to go with that, if you've tried talking to your boss so that they can handle the situation.
What if the boss is complicit and says, I'm not getting involved?
Right.
Isn't the boss just as responsible for that kind of behavior?
Well, I got some good news for you and I got some bad news. What do you want first?
Whatever you want.
I'll start with the bad news. Every one of us is difficult people and exhibit difficult behavior. Now, I know you're talking about this demon, this absolute
I'm not talking about somebody who's having a bad day.
I know, but we know who those people are. Those people we can really do nothing about. I wish I had the magic bullet and I could solve this great dilemma that you're putting forward, but I want to be realistic with folks and say there are people like that. They're few and far between. Do everything you can to protect yourself. The good news is that there are very few people like that, and there are very few people who are truly difficult people. There are lots of us that have difficult behaviors.
But here's the question, and this I've seen this happen several times in the workplace. You're having this very serious problem, and I'm the supervisor, and you come to me and say, Larry, I don't know what I'm going to do. And because I'm corporate or politically correct or whatever, I say to you, deal with it. So am I complicit in that person's abusive behavior?
In other words, are you stuck with it?
As the supervisor.
Well, here's the deal.
If this person is accountable to no one, what happens? You got to get out.
You don't have much of a choice. Unless you want to be there, or you can find another way to work with them, where you can communicate more often with them through email versus face-to-face. But if you can limit your interaction with them, you're in a better place.
Well, you know what I think? When you think about that, I guess if a person that you're working for or with is accountable to no one, then you shouldn't be in that company anyway.
Right.
Because the company doesn't have, I mean, for example, large companies like this one and others have really very strict policies about abusive behavior in the workplace. So I guess if the company won't deal with it, you don't want to be in the company.
You got 3 Ds: document, document, document. In that case, if you can, as Gail said, protect yourself and buffer yourself from this person, then you need to track the specific things that are going on so that you have some legal and personal protection.
But sometimes things are subtle. They're done in this sort of, chip away without fingerprints.
And I see this often, because you have the committed person who wants things to be done right. You've got the person that can just get away with things for whatever reason. It's a political situation. The people that really want things done right, they're so invested in why can't they change, why can't they be different, why can't they be committed to. Sometimes if the company does not care about what this person over here does, then this person needs to back up a little bit, not be so invested when it comes to these other situations.
Cancer. So fight the cancer, surround the cancer, and get the heck away.
I want to thank Gail Casper and Terrence Gargiulo. Thanks for coming so far to join us. Not too far, but thanks for being here anyway.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure to have you on. You can write to us at cna.tv or larrykane.com. If you have problems in the workplace, deal with them rationally. That's our advice. And this program, of course, if you want your friends to see it, is on demand on Comcast Channel 1. I'm sure a lot of your friends have had these crises at work. So have a great work week. Go in tomorrow, mellow out. Don't drink too much coffee. And thanks for being with us.